What's going on, guys? Vital Syntax here, and I thought I'd share my opinions on Titanfall. I'm not going to go over what the game's about or different game modes and what's actually in the beta, because there's a lot of other people already reviewing that, and hey, you can just go download it and see for yourself what's included. But instead, I'm giving my opinions on just the game mechanics, the maps, the way the weapons feel, and try and give some comparisons to other games that feel fairly similar. I already purchased the full game, so I will be doing videos on the full game, but for now, obviously, the beta is what we're limited to, and I will probably do a couple more videos on it because I've been enjoying the game quite a bit. So the first thing I wanted to get out of the way was what this game feels like in comparison to other games that hopefully some of you guys have had a chance to play. So to me, it feels like a mix between Call of Duty, specifically like the Modern Warfare type of games, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2 type of thing, mixed with Hawken, because whenever you're in a mech and you're doing the mech battles, there's a lot of mechanics, a lot of tactics that you can employ in a lot of other mech games, for example, Hawken, and Crysis 3. Now, Crysis 3 comes into play just because of how fast that pace that game is. Then the time that it takes to kill, the weapon, the handling, things like that feels a lot like Call of Duty, but when you're running around the map at super, human speed, you have a lot of mobility and parkouring abilities to jump around the map and run on walls, use your jetpack. It just kind of reminds me of Crysis 3. Obviously in Crysis or Crysis 2, doesn't really matter. You don't have jetpack, you don't do wall running, but at the same time you have, super speed, you have a really high jump, a couple other movement enhancements that, I don't know, I think in some ways are somewhat similar to this game. Now, all three of those games, Hawken, Call of Duty, and Crysis, are really good at what they do. I loved Crysis 2, I loved Crysis 3. I know I'm, one of the few people that actually really enjoyed those two games. And I was also a huge fan of Hawken. I haven't played it since its early beta days. I know that they're on Steam for early access, trying to get people to buy the game, which I think is stupid because it's a free-to-play game. I might try and play that again just because I had a lot of fun playing Hawken, kind of a couple months ago. But this game kind of takes those mechanics from Hawken when you're in the mech unit, takes the kind of gun skill and the gun mechanics and recoil handling, and even just like the reload animations, the way the guns look and feel from Call of Duty, and the speed and mobility from something like Crysis. So it's actually a really cool and interesting game that has some unique aspects to it, but it's not completely new. It's just taking some concepts from other games and kind of mashing them together into a pretty complete package. Now, it's a multiplayer game only, which I don't really mind. Most first-person shooters that come out, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Crysis, single player isn't interested me at all. Often I won't even play them. I know the past couple Call of Duty games I haven't even touched the single player, nor do I have any desire to. And I'd much rather a game developer spend their time working on their multiplayer component if they're trying to make a good multiplayer. Obviously, if you're talking about a game like Skyrim or Fallout or a single-player focused game, yeah, obviously you want to spend all your time working on the single player. But I think the days of franchises releasing a single player, a multiplayer, and a co-op type of gaming experience are hopefully going away, because it allows them to focus on what they're trying to do and what people are actually going to play a little bit more, instead of kind of spreading themselves too thin. And I think Titanfall does a pretty good job of that. They have a really good multiplayer that feels extremely well balanced. It has a progression system that's very limited in the beta. You can only get up to level 14. There's only a couple weapons to unlock. There's only like one mech class. There's 3 soldier classes. I don't know how many there are going to be in the full game. I would hope there'd be a lot more, because that's one of the things about a first-person shooter that you want to have a lot of, is a lot of unlocks, a lot of weapons, a lot of maps, game modes, things like that to unlock and progress through. So right now in the beta there's a very limited number, and I'd hope that in the full game there's tons more, and I expect there to be. I would say if you have played any of those games I talked about, Call of Duty, Crysis, or Hawken, and you enjoyed it, then this is definitely a game that you want to check out. If you're more of a tactical player that likes to be more methodical, work as a team, work as a squad, this might not be the best option. It seems more like a lone wolf, very run and gun, extremely fast-paced shooter. So, something like Battlefield some people would argue is a more team-oriented game, or something like Armor was a very slow, tactical and methodical shooter that's more focused on realism. This isn't probably going to be your cup of tea, but definitely if you're a Call of Duty fan, if you're a Crysis fan, if you're a Hawken fan, or any of those like first-person shooters that are focused on speed and maneuverability and quick thinking on your feet, it's really rewarding. And I think that's one of the most enjoyable things about these super fast-paced games is they require a certain level of skill that's just quick thinking. You have to make decisions about how you're going to move around the environment extremely quickly, and if you make the wrong decision, or if you make a decision that's somewhat poor versus the other options you had, you're dead. And you die, fairly fast. The time to kill is nowhere near Call of Duty, which I'm glad the time to kill is a little bit higher. That's something that I liked about Crysis 2 and Crysis 3 is it takes a little more skill. It's not just whoever shoots first; it's whoever's getting headshots. It's whoever's shooting for the weak points on the Titans, for example. So yeah, overall I'm really enjoying it. Just the beta is very limited, so there's I've already got to the max level. I've already unlocked all the weapons. I don't have all the attachments. There's some challenges and stuff that you can work through to get attachments and stuff, but at this point I feel like I've unlocked everything, which is kind of frustrating. I wish there was always more stuff to play, and that was only after about 3-4 hours, so I hope the full game has plenty of stuff to unlock that's spread out across a longer period of time, just so I can keep myself entertained. But anyway, definitely worth checking out. It's free on the Xbox One and the PC. I believe the open beta should be live on both those platforms sometime in the next couple days. It was closed at the beginning, but I think that they're switching over to an open beta, so anybody can download and test it out. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this game. I'll probably do a full review once the entire game is out and some other videos talking about it. But yeah, let me know if you guys have played this, what you guys think, if you think it's a new awesome IP, or if you're kind of not interested. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.